Hey everyone, DuckNuck84 here, back with more Broken Sword. And in the last episode, we finished up our adventure in Syria, and now we gotta go see if this priest has finally finished shining our cup.
The priest was still
Nope.
busy with the chalice, so I decided to have another look around the church.
Been gone for like 3 days, he's still polishing that cup. It must have been really bad to be taking 3 days or however long it is. But luckily we got this lens, which I think it's... there we go. Let's put the lens in the scroll.
The lens fitted into the end of the scroll like a hand into a glove.
Easy enough to figure out that's what we needed to do.
Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. Hey!
Okay, it basically gives us another new puzzle. We have to basically, I guess, move the stuff around. Each lens comes moving, yeah. Basically, move it around until we get a picture. But it looks like has the same problem as the chest part, where basically the controls suck on it. If you drag anywhere off of it, and right about there. It's basically, I know what I see. I already see what the picture basically is. It's basically the Grand Master being burnt alive. His hand goes right there. There we go.
His fortunes came sharply into focus. It was a Knight Templar burning at the stake. And below him a date in Roman numerals.
MCCCX something
Templar
something.
Burning at the stake. And a date. Let me see. MCCCXIV. That's 1314.
Okay. Now are you done? Yes, you are.
Hey, thanks.
It is my pleasure, monsieur.
What was the writing on the chalice?
It was not writing, my mistake. It was a coat of arms. The remarkable thing is that it seems very familiar.
Yeah?
Oui, I think I have seen it on that wall tomb in the far corner. That winged horse is quite distinctive.
Well, let's ask about the stained
I
glass.
noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern.
No, that's the
than
same
middle
thing.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. It was as old as the
Oh, man.
Oui, a terrible loss.
Again, why give us these options if it's going to be the same thing?
Do you speak Latin?
You are
Okay, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And now we got the shiny cup, and
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I think it is, he said over in the corner here, so I think it's that one?
Now that my attention had been drawn to it, there was no mistake. There was no name on it. But the coat of arms was undeniably the Pegasus of the De Vasconcelos family. I'd found the last resting place of Don Carlos. My eye was drawn to the biblical references carved into the edge of the tomb. Hey, maybe these biblical references mean something.
Oh, great. Another puzzle. I have to say, these puzzles really aren't that fun so far. Jumble of layers is basically just like the cipher we had to do, I'm guessing. Following the chapter verses like numerals. So, for example, Luke chapter 8, verse 2 would be displayed as Luke VII plus VI. So that would be... Let's find and highlight all the verse references. Okay. So, how's this... What? Okay, this is going to be real fun.
I didn't have time.
So what were the... Unless I missed something, what were the verse references that
Now
it
that my attention was
meant to talk about? Jumbled letters are carved onto the side of the knight's tomb. You must look for and highlight a number of Bible verses referenced comparison of the name of a book followed by the chapter and verse in Latin numerals. So, for example, Luke chapter 8, verse 2 would be displayed as Luke VIII plus II. You must find and highlight all of the verse's references. Highlight the full verse reference and the letters will stay lit. Otherwise, the letters will fade. George will read the verse reference once they are highlighted. Well, shit. So VI plus LXXX. I don't know. The reason they added... See, the problem is they added these puzzles so that when they ported this over to the DS, which also meant why they cut out a bunch of this stuff, or a bunch of the animations and extra stuff, so they could fit the puzzles, but because of the problem with the cartridge, they had to cut things. So to add useless puzzles, they cut out the more charming animations and story elements. So it's book 3, chapter 1? I don't even get what I'm supposed to do here. Okay, I see... I see a name of a book here, but I don't know which one this is. Is this highlighting it right? See, because I'm not... I don't read the Bible, nor do I know the book, so how am I supposed to, unless I have one by me, figure out what is what? Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else I can figure out. I can see Psalms.
Psalms 22:21. Not much to go on, but it must have meant something. If I examined the tomb more closely, there might be other clues to find. Corinthians 14:5. There were no more references to find, but a series of Roman numerals ran around the plaque. I made a note in case they meant something.
Again, that was a very stupid...
32:7. John 4:11. Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more. Psalms 22:21. I may not be perfect, but I've got a memory like a steel trap. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. After all, the De Vasconcellos arms were already on the manuscript. Note, I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
What I was going to say is, that puzzle adds nothing to the game at this point, that it just is more tedious, busy work. I mean, and they didn't even really explain it very well what they needed you to do. And they made it sound harder than it actually was. It was basically you had to just find, like you saw, find the words that were there, but bad puzzle. I mean, if you do a puzzle, you're supposed to feel rewarded for doing it. That just felt busy work. Especially being in the game, you go over there, the original game at least, you go over there, it says that stuff for you. That's it. You don't have to do all this highlighting on poorly, and the other thing, again, is the controls, again, sucked. I mean, you had to, I highlighted some of those things completely, and it wouldn't register, and I had to, literally, fill it up completely for it to register on some of those. Do you have anything to say about these Bible verses I have?
Hello again, Father.
Bonjour, monsieur. How pleasant to speak to you again.
No, it's just going to be the same thing about the stained glass?
Is the right-hand window original?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay.
Boy, what a shine you got on this.
Merci. It is all in the wrist action.
Yeah, you're pretty good at, rubbing things out, apparently.
Catch you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
I didn't have time.
Okay, so I have the Bible verses. Just look over here again, just make sure there's nothing else that I need to do with it.
Okay, let's have another look at those references. Psalms 32:7, John 4:11, Corinthians 1:4-5, and just one more. Psalms 22:21. The chalice had led me to these inscriptions, but it looked like a happy coincidence to me. I was still convinced that the chalice had some significance all of its own.
Can I put the chalice on you? And it's going to have me look through that again.
A Knight Templar Let me see. MCC 13. A stone knight lay. I wondered if a stone.
Okay, so obviously there's something else we need. Unless I can look at that.
To think of the long centuries that it kept its secret.
No. Maybe I have to go back to the museum. So I can't go back to the sewer because the cop is back here. And let's see if the museum is the answer. Well, I'm glad they fixed the totem pole that I broke.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Where have you been? Nicole said you were away.
I just returned from Syria.
Syria? On the trail of the Templars?
It's a long story, but I found the bull's head. It was referred to on the manuscript, remember?
Yes. What is it?
A secret cave built into a high cliff
That's
face.
also a death trap.
In the cave, I discovered a map bearing a phrase in Latin. In accidenta cita est in ora mundi.
The island of Britain.
Lies at the edge of the world, to the west.
Strange. That map seems to contain a series of pointers.
Like I said, it's a treasure map.
And I found that creepy three-faced thing.
While I was in Syria, I discovered a strange pagan statue. It was like a head with 3 bearded faces. Horrible.
That sounds as if it could be Baphomet, the idol described by the Templars.
The poor Knights of Christ had an idol that looked like that?
Allegedly. The description of the idol came from the evidence extracted by the Inquisition. Mind you, not one statue or idol was ever found on Templar property. Until now, that is. Just last month, a statue of Baphomet was unearthed right here in Paris.
Where?
At the Institut Hermétique de Nerval. The statue is beneath the foundations. It was discovered by some workmen while renovating the building.
Can you tell me any more about the statue of Baphomet?
It's a fearful image, even now. A bearded head. The base of the statue is carved with Templar symbols. One of the workmen noticed a curious stain at the base. He claimed it looked like blood.
Blood?
That's right.
No blood. Do you want to see my shiny chalice?
That is not a good idea.
Fine, don't see my shiny chalice.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So does that open up a new location? Site. Okay, yeah, it does. Hello, very paint-stained workman who is smoking.
Excuse me, could you help me?
What is it?
I've got a few questions.
Who are you and why are you
You're
covered
doing
with
a
paint?
fine job.
Merci. I have my professional pride.
I don't think I've ever seen a Gauloise smoke so stylishly.
It's a natural talent.
I'm being sarcastic.
I'm being indifferent.
You're very good at that as well.
Merci. Vive l'indifférence.
So, what are you doing here?
I am having my break.
Yeah, I mean, when you finish your break.
When I finish my break, an interesting concept, monsieur.
You'll probably need to think about it.
I could have another cigarette while I consider. Perhaps tomorrow too.
Okay, let me put things differently. What were you hired to do here?
I was hired to keep the archaeological dig in the basement of this building clear of debris and to touch up damage to the door frames with my little pot of paint. It's a very responsible job. Unfortunately, I'm not a very responsible person.
Okay.
So what do you know about the excavation?
I know they won't let me in to do my job. I would complain to my union, but là...
You couldn't be bothered to join.
Right. Tell you what, though, I'm surprised at the sort of people interested in this excavation.
Why? What is wrong with the people?
What's unusual about the visitors to the excavation?
None of them look like archaeologists to me.
Do you know what an archaeologist looks like?
Three-piece suits, crocodile-eyed attaché cases, Rolex oyster.
But no archaeologist dresses like that.
Quite right, monsieur, quite right.
So, who are they?
Who cares as long as they pay me?
They are probably these guys.
What does the word Templar suggest to you?
Templar?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, you gonna let me go down here, or are you gonna stop me? Nope, because you're not responsible, so... but I bet you I can use my electrician card on that. Let's talk to this guy first.
Hi? Excuse me?
Oui,
Who are you?
So, what exactly are you doing here?
I'm guarding. You expect to find me shearing sheep?
Take it easy. I just didn't realize you were a guard.
The uniform
I'd like
didn't
to
give you
know
away.
What you're guarding, please.
That's a secret.
It wouldn't happen to be an archaeological site, would it?
Are you asking me or telling me?
I'm telling you.
Then why ask?
I had a feeling this was no normal hole in the ground. What do you know about the Knights Templar? There was a long pause during which the guard said nothing. Then he said,
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Is this a test?
What, like a history pop test?
No, like a test.
Okay, yes, it's a test.
Then I know absolutely nothing about the Templars.
Which means he might be working for the Templars, and is not very bright.
The guard was being amazingly evasive. It was going to take more than goodwill to get past him.
Well, maybe he wants my tissue.
Look, a tissue stained with grease paint.
Ah, just what I've always wanted. If you give me that, you can enter through the door.
Really?
Of course not. What would I want with an old tissue?
Well, people have asked for stranger things.
I thought better of showing him he might be on the conspiracy's payroll.
He is.
And I didn't want to risk it.
Oui? You have...
A sudden urge to sing. Care to join
Don't.
me?
No, no singing in here.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Au revoir, monsieur.
What's in here? He's probably not going to let me go in there.
There was a closed door with toilet scratched into the cheap veneer.
That door is locked, monsieur.
Okay, and not going to let me touch that.
Do you mind if I use the phone?
Be my guest. I'm paid to guard this door. The phone can look after itself.
Hi, Nico?
Georges, what have you discovered?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. Is something wrong?
No.
Georges, why are you calling me?
Oh, no reason. I just wanted to hear your voice.
I'm crushing on you.
Well, this is my voice saying, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Oh.
Okay. What about this?
I couldn't imagine what I'd achieved by turning the dial.
But I want to do it anyway.
The doorway led to an old utility closet that had lost its door. There was nothing interesting in there.
And what's in here?
I couldn't see any use for a collection of dirt and half bricks.
And the door he's not going to let me touch.
I couldn't get to the door while the guard was there.
So we got to do something up here. But, actually we probably need that paint bucket. But I think we will end that here for today. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.